Hello everyone, it's Charlton, and I wanted to update you on this story out in northern New Mexico, the compound that was raided last week where they found 11 children, malnourished, living in filthy conditions. It's a makeshift compound that's it's very out in a remote location. The town is called Amalia, the county is Taos County, and the sheriff who was actually surveilling the compound before getting a warrant to go ahead and raid it, because he had gotten some information from Georgia detectives about a message received or intercepted from one of the women staying in the compound that they had no food and they were starving. He was actually he was surveilling the compound because they were looking for a missing boy who was a 3-year-old boy who was abducted from Georgia. His father left Georgia with him, and there was a warrant out for his arrest. That's what he was actually out there to observe. So today, or Monday rather, they actually found the remains of a young boy. They're waiting for identification on those remains. So they have not said that it is the 3-year-old boy they were looking for. His name is Abdul Ghani Wahaj. And his father, Siraj Wahaj. I could be pronouncing that wrong. There were 5 adults and 11 children living there. Siraj Wahaj and another man named Lucas Morton, and those two were arrested almost immediately upon the raid. They had guns on the makeshift compound. It's a very bizarre sort of compound. They have a trailer buried halfway underground, I believe, or totally underground. To me, it looked like it was not completely submerged underground, but then covered with like tarps and plastic. It's surrounded by like stacks and stacks of tires. It almost looks like something out of Road Warrior, and they were there to live off the grid. And that was sort of the purpose of this compound. The 3 women were initially released after the raid and after questioning, but upon further investigation, they were arrested themselves, and I think they're all facing child abuse charges, to the best of my knowledge. And the three women are the mothers of the 11 children, and they've been identified. I have their names. I'll get to that towards the end of this. But the remains of a young boy was located on the property, and the sheriff, Jerry Hogreef, who was the person conducting surveillance, who eventually got the warrant to raid the place. He made the announcement to the press, I believe. It said that he said, "We discovered the remains yesterday on Abdul's," even though they have not identified this as the young boy, that's what he said. He said, "We discovered the remains yesterday on Abdul's 4th birthday." He would have been four years old on Monday, and it said appearing to fight back tears, the sheriff. And it said after interviewing the adults that they had that were on the compound, I think the 3 women and the two males, they had reason to believe that the boy was still on the property. But again, they still have not identified the remains that they recovered. And he also said, in quote, "We had a good idea of a target location to look for the boy." The sheriff did. The sheriff of Taos County. In the extradition warrant for Shiraz Wahaj, the father of the 3-year-old boy who is accused of abduction, it said that his mother had said about him that the child has severe medical condition, and it's almost to the point where he needs constant attention, or else he could potentially die. The name of the condition was hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, which is caused by a lack of oxygen and blood flow, where he literally, according to his mother, he can't walk and needs constant attention. But the father believed he was possessed by a demon, and that he had told his mother he was going to perform an exorcist on him, and that because of the seizures, he believed he was possessed by the devil, So he took him for a trip to the park back in December in Georgia, and then never returned. And I believe they arrived. The father arrived in Amalia, New Mexico, around that time, around December of 2017. So and the where they were living, that property is owned by the property is owned by another individual, Jason Badger, who supposedly has been asking authorities to investigate this compound and actually had filed an eviction notice in court, according to him. And, has been wanting the authorities to break up the encampment. It says that a judge dismissed an eviction notice filed by Badger against Lucas Morton, the other individual, the other male who was arrested just in June. And there's no details on the judge's decision. But it also said that this compound has been under investigation for months. So, it's just not known. The children are ages 1 to 15. They were, there's pictures of inside the trailer that's, I think, halfway underground. And, they were starving. The message that was received or intercepted said by somebody on the compound, I think it's one of the mothers, "We are starving and need food and water." One of the Georgia detectives sent this message to Taos County Sheriff that, somehow he managed to, I don't know if they were tapping their phones or what. I really don't know. And but they had a lot of guns on the property as well as a loaded AR-15 when they conducted the raid. Another individual who lives nearby, his name's Tyler Anderson, who basically lives off the grid himself. Initially, he said they arrived in December and said, and he actually helped them set up solar panels and stuff like that, and initially had some interaction with them, but sort of pulled away himself. He said the kids at one point were playing with other kids on neighboring properties, but that stopped about a month ago. The three females, the three moms in their booking photos all have Muslim garb on, Muslim hijabs on, and their names are identified. Two of them have the same last name as the father, who's accused of abducting the 3-year-old boy. So one of the three mothers or three females is Janie Laville, 35 years old. Another is Hajra Wahaj, same last name as the father, as Sarah, goodness gracious, as Siraj Wahaj, and the third was Subhana Wahaj, and they were 38 and 35 years old. And that's the story there, man. It's obviously highly unusual, and it's terribly tragic with the 3-year-old boy, but we don't know for certain the identity of the remains that they discovered on yesterday. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.